Good afternoon. At this time, we'll all remain standing for the presentation of our flag and the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner, performed by the SIUE Symphony Orchestra under the direction of Dr. Michael Mishra and sung by Mr. Richard Ladd, a sophomore in the Department of Music.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. Good afternoon again and welcome. I am Ann Boyle, Interim Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. I am delighted to welcome you to the 2012 Spring Commencement Ceremony for the Graduate School, the School of Engineering, and the School of Pharmacy. This is the last of 4 commencement ceremonies during which the university has also conferred degrees on students earning their undergraduate and graduate degrees from the School of Business, the School of Education, the School of Nursing, and the College of Arts and Sciences. I'm pleased to introduce you to some of the members of the platform party who are with us today to extend their congratulations to our graduates. Other members of the platform party will be introduced during the ceremony. Each person will rise as their name is called. Please hold your applause until all are recognized and standing. Dr. Jane Gillespie, Director of Research and Professor of Microbiology in the School of Dental Medicine and President of the SIUE Faculty Senate. Ms. Bev George, President of the Alumni Association Board of Directors. Dr. Regina McBride, Dean of Library and Information Services. Dr. Aldemaro Romero, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. Mr. Mike Hamill, President of the SIUE Staff Senate. Mr. Rich Walker, Assistant Vice Chancellor for Administration. Mr. Patrick Hunley, Vice Chancellor for University Relations. Dr. Jim Klenke, Associate Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs. Please now join me in acknowledging them with your applause. In the front rows before me are seated members of the faculty and staff. It is through the dedicated work of these individuals in designing and executing and supporting the curricula of the university that you have been able to achieve your educational goals, culminating in your graduation today. Would the faculty and staff please stand? I ask that the members of the graduating class and audience join me in expressing appreciation to them for a job very well done. Please be seated. It is now my honor and pleasure to introduce the Chancellor of Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. As SIUE's 7th Chancellor, Dr. Vaughn Vandegrift has been instrumental in guiding the university in the areas of academics, economics, construction, athletics, and civic leadership. Since 2004, he has been committed to the fulfilling of the university's vision to be recognized nationally as a premier metropolitan university for the excellence of its programs and the development of professional and community leaders. In 2005, Dr. Vandegrift instituted a plan for the achievement of that vision by the year 2015, which incorporated the values and the long-term strategic goals of the university. In the 8 years he has led our university, our movement toward the achievement of that vision has been notable. Under Chancellor Vandegrift's leadership, SIUE has received an impressive list of accolades. The university has been recognized for the 3rd consecutive year as one of 46 up-and-coming schools in the U.S. News and World Report's Best Colleges of 2012, and I quote, for making innovative changes in the area of faculty, student life, campus life, and facilities. In addition, we have been recognized 7 times by U.S. News and by the American Association of Colleges and Universities for our senior assignment program. Washington Monthly has ranked SIUE again this year among the top 50 master's universities in the nation. Chancellor Vandegrift has successfully steered SIUE through the toughest state budget cuts we have experienced in recent history, and during that time, we've raised more than $30 million in our first major gifts campaign. Despite the challenging economy, SIUE's total economic impact on the region is increasing. The university's current economic impact of $471 million is 32% greater than it was in 2005. Since Dr. Vandegrift joined us in 2004, SIUE has steadily increased enrollment, having achieved a record enrollment of more than 14,200 students this fall. The size of the freshman class has seen 7 consecutive years of growth and has increased by 20% since the fall of 2004. Under Chancellor Vandegrift's guidance, the university is also completing an extensive construction and infrastructure improvement program, and we are expecting our final certification to NCAA Division I athletics as a member of the Ohio Valley Conference in August. After years of successes, last September, the Chancellor announced he would retire on July 1st, 2012. For all that has been accomplished at SIUE during his tenure, we are deeply appreciative. We are a better university because of his stewardship, and he is going into retirement with a legacy of success and accomplishment. Chancellor Vandegrift, on behalf of the university community, thank you for your leadership and your tireless campaign, exhorting all of us at SIUE to, and I quote, do the right things and do them well. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Vaughn Vandegrift to the podium for his final commencement address as Chancellor of SIUE.
Thank you. I've tried all day not to be emotional, so I'll continue to try. Thank you very much for that. Good afternoon and welcome to SIUE Spring 2012 Commencement. I am pleased to join our faculty, staff, and guests in officially congratulating our graduates on the completion of their degree programs. Graduates, today's commencement is a formal academic celebration conducted in your honor. And after today, you will always have a good reason to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Most of you began your university careers at SIUE as freshmen, while some of you transferred from other colleges and universities to one of our professional programs. Regardless of the path you took to get here, your presence has enriched the university because you came from differing backgrounds with unique experiences. At the end of these commencement exercises, you will share alumni status with more than 90,000 fellow alumni. While you should be proud of your accomplishments, you should also recognize that you have not succeeded by yourselves. During the last 4 or 5 or 6 difficult years, you have received support. That was supposed to be funny. You have received support from many people, and they should be proud as well. These include your immediate family members, parents, guardians, grandparents, spouses, siblings, and children. And I know for some of our graduates, the family members are not here, but I would like those family members, parents, guardians, grandparents, spouses, siblings, and children who are present to please stand and be recognized by the graduates for all the support you have given them. Family members, please. Our graduates have also been helped by friends and other relatives, mentors, and advisors. And I know several of them are here today. Others who have supported our graduates, friends, other relatives, mentors, and advisors, would you please stand and be recognized by the graduates for your contributions? Finally, I would like to recognize all the SIUE alumni in the audience. If you have graduated from SIUE, would you please stand and be recognized? SIUE alumni. Apparently, it's a family tradition. Well, graduates, you've made it. You've achieved, and as a result, you will now transition to the next phase of your lives. Exciting, isn't it? And maybe just a bit unnerving? These are difficult economic times in our state and country, and your individual path forward may not be what you expected. You cannot know what opportunities lie just ahead, but you can remember the advice of French microbiologist Louis Pasteur, who said, quote, "Chance favors the prepared mind," end quote. With the mind you have prepared at SIUE and the knowledge you have gained, it is now up to you to pursue your life goals. With that said, and being a little farther along in life's journey than you are, I'd like to share a few suggestions of my own. First, take professional opportunities that will fulfill your potential, even if those opportunities frighten you. Realizing your potential involves lifelong learning, so remember, your education is not over. It is important to strive for personal fulfillment in every stage of life, to look for ways to grow and develop more fully as you move ahead. Each of us has much to offer, but many allow life's possibilities to pass untested. Decide that you will be one of the few. Calvin Coolidge, 30th President of the United States, said, quote, "The most common commodity in this country is unrealized potential," end quote. Think of what could be accomplished if each of us committed to taking one step in realizing our potential each day. In the words of Mahatma Gandhi, leader of the Indian nationalism and nonviolent protest movement, quote, "The difference between what we do and what we are capable of doing would suffice to solve most of the world's problems," end quote. Second, collaborate with others, but remember your values. This can be summed up in words attributed to Peter Marshall, a Scottish-American minister who twice served as chaplain of the United States Senate. He said, quote, "If we don't stand for something, we shall fall for anything," end quote. Know what you stand for. You are no doubt aware of the values of SIUE displayed in numerous locations, including on the wall behind me, but most notably what you have seen for the years you've been here in the Goshen Lounge of the Morris University Center, the heartbeat of the campus. These values serve as a constant reminder of the roadmap the university has adopted to achieve its goals. Having a set of values that serves as a guide is critical to assuring that decisions made will promote the mission of the institution. So, too, it is important that you, as individuals, adopt a set of personal compass points that will ensure progress toward the goals you've adopted for your life. Third, exhibit self-confidence. None of us has all the answers, but with steady progress on a charted course of action, your chances of personal success and professional fulfillment are greatly increased. Be assured in your path and give it everything you've got so that looking back, there will be no room for wondering whether more might have been done. William James, American psychologist and philosopher, said, quote, "Most people live, whether physically, intellectually, or morally, in a very restricted circle of their potential being. They make very small use of their possible consciousness and of their soul's resources in general," end quote. Believe in yourself, and opportunity will find you. Fourth, and this may appeal to those at my generation, remember the words of the actress Lucille Ball. Quote, "If you want something done, give it to a busy person," end quote. Be a busy person. As an example of this, consider how busy SIUE has been during your time here. Our progress is correlated directly to the willingness of those invested in rolling up their sleeves, taking informed risks as a university, and learning from both mistakes and successes. Be busy in the sense that you continue to look for ways to improve and build on areas of strength while recognizing areas in which additional support is needed. Those who are busy and successful tend also to be efficient and self-aware in identifying support systems to supplement their strengths. Never shy away from a challenge that fits within the goals and values you set for yourselves. Pile them on and invite assistance from those with complementary talents. And also remember the words of inventor Thomas Edison, who said, quote, "There is no substitute for hard work," end quote. I'm sure you've heard that from your parents as well. Fifth and finally, and I thank the provost for reminding me of this, do the right things and do them well. If you follow this creed, I believe success will be yours. It may not happen overnight. It may take putting on blinders to those who are taking shortcuts around responsibility, but it will happen, and yours will be success that lasts. Again, look at the success the E has enjoyed by doing the right things well in just a few short years you have been here. Dr. Kenneth McFarland, American educator, public speaker, and author, said it very well when he said, quote, "There are no traffic jams when you go the extra mile," end quote. By doing the right things and doing them well, you will pull ahead of the crowd, and in doing so, be the front runner when opportunity knocks. Graduates, as you now advance to the next phase of your lives, combine persistence and passion in a steady march toward individual fulfillment, remembering the important lessons you've gained as a student here at the E. Remember the university's values of citizenship, excellence, integrity, openness, and wisdom, and incorporate them into your life's journey. The value of citizenship calls for giving back to your community a portion of what you've been given. The value of excellence demands continuous improvement and a commitment to high standards. The value of integrity, there is no shortcut around accountability and honesty in our communications and actions. The value of openness welcomes the rich diversity of humankind and calls for respect for individual differences. And finally, the value of wisdom. Perhaps the best manifestation of a commitment to wisdom is to engage in lifelong learning, a pursuit in which your alma mater is well prepared to assist. Remember, learning and living go hand in hand. Graduates, we are confident that you have the skills to succeed and significantly contribute to the greater good. As you now begin anew, be sure to remain in contact with the university and take advantage of the many support services available to you, service that exist in order to help fulfill your potential. Soon to be alumni, as you prepare for the next stage of your lives, You can help not only to develop yourselves and your potential, you can also assist others to develop and succeed, as you have been assisted by the taxpayers of Illinois. Public higher education is receiving a diminishing portion of national and state income, and we must all work to inspire support of the public higher education that has made this democracy great. In this, SIUE asks for your help and in return commits to ensuring the value of your degree from this day forward. Graduates, we congratulate you and send you off with this imperative: go and do well. Respect those who have come before you, pursue your life's ambitions, and enable others in the pursuit of their own. Be bold, be achievers, and join me as I now enter my retirement years in always being a cougar. Thank you. And I'll end as I usually do. Go Cougars, go Big E. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I will miss it. Earlier today, the university presented the Distinguished Service Award. Each year, the Distinguished Service Award honors an individual's outstanding service to his or her community. I am privileged to introduce SIUE alumna Paige St. John, recipient of the 2012 Distinguished Service Award. An investigative reporter for the Sarasota Herald-Tribune in Florida, Paige St. John was awarded the 2011 Pulitzer Prize for investigative reporting for a year-long series of stories exposing financial corruption and profiteering in Florida's multi-billion-dollar property insurance market. Her work received top recognition in national and regional awards and resulted in changes in Florida's insurance regulation and return of millions of dollars to policy account holders. Paige St. John earns a Bachelor of Degree in Science and Mass Communication from SIUE in 1986. As a student, she served as editor of the campus newspaper, The Alestle, and a director of the mascot organization, the Cougar Guard. In 2011, she was inducted into the SIUE Alumni Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, someone who has really exhibited the SIUE value of citizenship along with excellence, please welcome the 2012 SIUE Distinguished Service Award recipient, Paige St. John. We are so proud of you. Congratulations.
Hello. I did a great deal of research on commencement addresses when I was told that I was going to receive this award and make this speech. And I found amazing similarity in the values that are stressed, including the values you've just heard this afternoon. It's as though people are trying to tell you something. But maybe this is a unique way for you to remember it. A Chinese Zen master named Suzanne was asked by a student, "What is the most valuable thing in the world?" And the master replied, "The head of a dead cat." The student was confused. Why is the head of a dead cat the most valuable thing in the world? And Suzanne replied, "Because no one can name its price." This is a very old Zen koan on differentiation, and it's a subject for serious study and one that Buddhist students use in their constant search for enlightenment. But as you mull it over in your head, I suggest you consider perhaps the perspective of the cat. Consider, for instance, as well what you value beyond any monetary valuations. What enlivens you most? Can you live by that? That's the question and the path. So let's talk about what's priceless. One of my first memories in life was riding here with my mother as a toddler to pick my father up from work. He was a laborer, part of the crew building the Lovejoy Library. My dad was a hod carrier. That's the title they give basically the human mule who carries bricks and mortar on his back. And afterward, we would stop in the fields to cut asparagus and that grew out here. Years later, I enrolled as an exemplary student. I finished high school in 3 years, and I was determined to finish college in 3 more with a degree in science. And it was then that SIUE started to teach me its own priceless lessons. I joined the Cougar Guard. I went from trainee to director. I joined the Alestle, and I went from writing the calendar to editing the newspaper. I played Dungeons and Dragons with my friends in the computer science department. I hung out with the punk rockers and learned to play Renaissance instruments with the Society for Creative Anachronism. Someone in the Goshen taught me how to hammer out a blues progression on the piano and pool downstairs in the den. And as I went, I started skipping classes, then entire courses, until my spotless straight A record landed me on academic probation. I was by then probably the worst student on campus, and I washed out of journalism. I ran out of money. I slept under my desk at the Alestle, and I starved on an endless diet of ramen noodles. And at the end of 6 years, I dropped out of school. I returned to Chicago to find a job. I did not know this then, but the truth is I had already received from SIUE, or the Big E, the head of the cat. That I needed the rest of the animal didn't come for another 3 months when I was working in the classified ad department of a community shopper, and by the end of that summer, moonlighting at the paper to write news stories for the front page. I gave in to my passion, finally, and I returned to Edwardsville, begged to be readmitted to the best J school in the country, and threw myself into my classes with the same passion that I had squandered in the previous years. Which is more valuable, the degree or the experience? Well, there are 239 of you today to receive a diploma that includes 76 doctors in pharmacy, 10 masters of public administration, and 3 masters of music, and I'm 18 from a dual program with Istanbul. Those with higher degrees probably have your paths figured out, but 98 of you are bachelors. And what kind of world do you enter? High unemployment, a particularly rough road for new college graduates, because for every 4 of you, 2 will get a career in a job in your career field. 1 finds work that doesn't require a diploma, and the 4th gets to go back home to mom and dad, or back to school to wait out the recession. But this is also a time of incredible opportunity. While I was a student, a professor of mine in the science building rolled out a utility cart carrying the first personal computer, created by yet another very bad college student, Stephen Jobs. In his own 2005 commencement address at Stanford, Jobs told graduates his college education didn't really begin until he dropped out, liberating him to stick around and take the classes he was really interested in, sparking passions that would help him launch Apple 10 years later. The technological revolution has changed my field, journalism, entirely, and redefined the word media to add the word social. And that has done more to change the world, your world, to accelerate it and in some ways destabilize it. It enables viral mass citizen movements like the Arab Spring, or in this country, the Occupy movement, international cyber wars like that between the United States and China, and new forms of censorship as world governments attempt to contain and control these powers. The impacts can also be as fleeting as quicksilver. The charity group Invisible Children amassed 100 million page views in March to make African warlord Joseph Kony a household threat, but by April, the would-be international movement had faded from the attention span of young Americans. It's also opened the doors to who can communicate. The information flood is contaminated and polluted by opinion and propaganda, and that has dangerous consequences. A study found that viewers regularly exposed to the mix of news, opinion, and bias on the Fox News network actually knew less about events in the world and were more misinformed than those who never watched television at all. And here is where your education starts anew. The advice most graduates receive on this day has little to do with your diploma and dwells mostly on the values that are considered priceless. Winston Churchill, for instance, in 1941, what has to be the briefest commencement address ever given, I think it was 2 minutes, said this: never give in, never give in, never, 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 never. In nothing great or small, large or petty, never give in, except to convictions of honor and good sense. Bradley Whitford, the actor on West Wing, advocated action in people's lives. You will inevitably make mistakes. Learn what you can and move on. At the end of your days, you will be judged by your gallop, not your stumble. I think that's one I learned very well. And from yourself, on Facebook this week, a student who goes under the moniker His Darling Angel, moving on to my next chapter, grad school, and praying that a job opens up so that I can do both. Thanking God, because without Him I wouldn't have made it. Thanking my fam, because Lord knows having them in my corner gave me the confidence to continue on. And then finally, Steve Jobs himself in 2005 advocated free thinking. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. I have little to add to that except this advice. You leave not just with diplomas, but with the skill of learning, to ask questions, to differentiate between fact and opinion, to value information over ignorance, and above all, to determine for yourself what is of value and what is priceless. I wish you well. Thank you.
Congratulations, Ms. St. John, on your well-deserved award for distinguished service. I'm glad you found the courage to follow your heart, your intuition, and your passion into journalism, and thank you for a wonderful commencement address. For each commencement ceremony, one graduate is chosen to speak on behalf of the graduating class. To be selected for this honor, students must not only demonstrate academic success, but they must also exemplify the values of our institution. The graduate chosen for this ceremony is James Cody Sandusky, who is receiving his Doctor of Pharmacy from the School of Pharmacy. Mr. Sandusky is a member of numerous professional pharmacy organizations and has served in a leadership capacity for the SIUE School of Pharmacy Honor Council and the SIUE chapter of the American Pharmacists Association Academy of Student Pharmacists and the National Community Pharmacist Association, to name just a few. Mr. Sandusky received the National Community Pharmacist Association Foundation Presidential Scholarship and was named the 2011 SIUE Kimmel Leadership Center Outstanding Student Leader. He has been involved in several local and international volunteer activities, including the American Diabetes Association Walk, Hospital Sisters Mission Outreach, and a mission trip to Senegal. Mr. Sandusky is an accomplished pianist and holds a martial arts black belt. Mr. Sandusky, it is a pleasure to welcome you to the podium as the student speaker representing the class of 2012.
So I bet you never knew I had a black belt, did you? Yeah, now you regret all those nights I stayed up very late, didn't you, pharmacy faculty? So good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 108th commencement of Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. As Provost Boyle said, my name is Cody Sandusky, and it's my honor and privilege to be selected to speak on behalf of the graduating class of 2012. I'd like to thank Dr. Girish Gupchup, Dean of the School of Pharmacy, and Dr. Chris Lynch, Professor of Pharmacy Practice, for recommending me for this prestigious honor. To paraphrase a quote by William Faulkner in his Nobel Prize acceptance speech, tonight I choose to use this moment as a pinnacle from which I might be listened to by my peers, and that by doing so I might inculcate in their hearts and minds the ideals that I deem necessary to foster in such difficult social and economic times for new graduates. But first, I'd like to take this opportunity to extend my sincere gratitude to several groups of individuals without whom this night would not be possible. To start with, I'd like to thank the SIU Board of Trustees, Chancellor Vandegrift, and Provost Boyle for their service to this fine institution. Chancellor Vandegrift, on behalf of the class of 2012 and the students of SIUE, we all wish you the best in your retirement. You will be very sorely missed here. To the greater SIUE community, the Glen Ed community, if you will, thank you for your support for the students and programs at SIUE. The Glen Ed community is truly a remarkable place and a pleasurable environment in which to learn. My friends often tell me that I'm an old soul, and I'm going to get a lot of laughs from the pharmacy whenever I bring this up. It's true that I enjoy classical music far more than any 20-something should, and that I'm more adamant about shining my shoes than waxing my car, which was 4 years ago. Oh, come on, give me a laugh there. One attribute, however, has earned me the name Mr. Rogers among my classmates, and that would be my love of knit cardigan sweaters. As I was preparing this address, I came across a wonderful quote by Mr. Fred Rogers and knew it was simply meant to be. In actuality, it applies to the next two groups of individuals quite well. Mr. Rogers says, anyone who has ever been able to sustain good work has had at least one person, and often many, who have believed in him or her. We just don't get to be competent human beings without a lot of different investments from others. We all come from different backgrounds tonight, but we're all bound by the common knowledge that without the support of our outstanding faculty and support staff to facilitate our education, and perhaps more importantly, the love and encouragement of our friends, families, spouses, etc., that this journey would be next to impossible. I'd like to take this time to thank a few of those aforementioned individuals that played a pivotal role in my personal and professional careers. To the SIUE School of Pharmacy faculty and staff, thank you for your dedication to the students of the School of Pharmacy, advocating for our patients, and catalyzing changes for the betterment of our profession. I cherish the time I spent under each of your mentorship and would like to thank a few of my personal mentors. To Drs. Bill Coling and Tim McPherson, over the past 4 years, I've probably spent more time in your office than anyone else's. Thank you for teaching me the importance of critical thinking, the value of research, and most importantly, thank you for reminding me that I'm a good kid, I'm a smart kid, and doggone it, people should like me. To Drs. Chris Lynch, Jess Kerr, Keith Hecht, Chris Herndon, and Kathy Santinello, and Ms. Connie Stamper-Carr, or Aunt Connie as I call her, thank you for being excellent life coaches throughout this experience. Your guidance and friendship is truly appreciated. Lastly, I'd like to thank my parents, Bill and Stacy Sandusky, and my grandparents, Bill and Pam Brown, for their steadfast love, emotional support, financial support, and for instilling within me the belief to never be satisfied with the status quo. Thank you to my friends, both near and far, several of whom have come tonight to support me, to my pharmacy family who has gathered before me. Thank you for motivating me to keep pressing on, the many laughs we've shared, and for simply being the wonderful people that you are. God has truly blessed me with a wonderful family, friends, and peers. You know, you all mean the absolute world to me, but what's the harm in reminding you yet again? Now, to my fellow graduates, I think I've talked enough about other people. It's time to focus on the reason we're gathered here tonight, our commencement. The definition of commencement, as we use it here, is a ceremony in which degrees are conferred upon graduating students. However, I like the literal definition of the word better, which means the beginning or the start. You see, we don't gather here tonight before our faculty, our mentors, our peers, and our loved ones to mark the end of our education, but rather we gather together to mark the beginning of our lives. Up to this point, we've been somewhat dependent, almost coddled on some sort of safety net, whether it was that of our loved ones or simply the academic environment. But tonight, it's our turn to spread our wings and fly. Congratulations on reaching this milestone in your life, and I have no doubt that you've worked extremely hard to be where you're at right now. All those pots of coffee, those sleepless nights, and all those times you heard that ominous voice in Lovejoy Library say, "The library will close in 15 minutes," have finally paid off. But as I mentioned, our lives have simply been winding up for the great game of life to come. I ask that you listen closely for the next few moments, as I feel that the following are things we must take up as new graduates entering very tempestuous times. As I said earlier, we've spent the past several years embraced in a world outside of actuality, which would be college. While here, we've been exposed to a rich world of learning, fun, and communion with one another. All of that is about to change, though, as we part our ways and blaze our own paths into the world. My hope is that you will apply the values of this institution to your daily lives, commit yourselves to service to your community, submerge yourself in cultural diversity, apply your critical thinking skills, and never, ever stop learning. Not only will this enrich your own lives, but will serve the greater good for society as a whole. Oftentimes, I feel as though our generation allows itself to sit idly, waiting for the world to evolve around us. Our tragedy today is that we've become enthralled with a universal fear of taking up our own cross, so long sustained that we can even bear it. And what is the result of such? It's stagnancy within ourselves and society. Just look at the world around us. The world today is dark and dismal. It's full of people quick to point their fingers or occupy a street corner, yet no one seems to want to be the ones to dig their heels in against the way things are. I submit to you, we must teach ourselves that the basis of all these things is this mindset, and thereby teach ourselves to forget it forever, leaving no room in our hearts and our minds for anything but the old verities and truths of our souls, of love, pity, pride, compassion, hard work, and sacrifice, the ideals without which our future endeavors are but mere ephemeral pieces of our life story. Until we re-embrace these ideals, we exist as though we stand to watch the end of man. And I denounce this thought, and I encourage you to do the same. We as a generation cannot sit idly waiting to hear the death knell of man. But I do believe that it will be the bright minds of the light gathered here today that will not only ensure that man endures, but will also, in fact, prevail. For we are beings of immortal spirits capable of compassion, sacrifice, creativity, and endurance. I believe we are of a different breed here at SIUE, one that is prepared to enter the trenches of humanity and stand for the greater good. I'm reminded of a statement made by the famous SIU Carbondale professor, Dr. R. Buckminster Fuller. Fuller, who was known the world over for his architectural innovations, went by a quite peculiar nickname, Trim Tab. He once stated in an interview, "Something hit me very hard once thinking about what one little man can do. Just think of the Queen Mary. The whole ship goes by and then comes the rudder. And there's a tiny thing at the edge of the rudder called a trim tab. It's a miniature rudder. Just pulling the little trim tab builds a low pressure that pulls the whole rudder around. Takes almost no effort at all." So I said that the little individual could be a trim tab. Society thinks it's going right by you, that it's left you all together. But if you're doing dynamic things mentally, the fact is that you can just put your foot out like that, and the whole big ship of state is going to go. So I said, call me Trim Tab. What a profound statement that one small man, a trim tab, if you will, can steer the entire ship of state. I think Fuller makes an excellent analogy here for new graduates. He lays out the foundation for a set of principles on which to build our generation. When I first read this interview, I looked into myself and wondered if I had what it took to be a trim tab, and I suggest you do the same. I thought long and hard about the topic. How exactly does one become a trim tab, one that will change the course of humanity? And I came to the conclusion there are 4 primary characteristics of such game changers throughout history: a creative desire, a willingness to accept and implement change, acceptance and growth from failure, and perseverance. We can no longer sit on the sidelines of humanity, waiting for the deedle hand of fate to orchestrate the world around us. My fellow graduates, our time is now. Each and every one of you is equipped with the knowledge and skills to steer the course of mankind if you so choose. Let's bring the world out of the rut it's in. Beginning tonight at our commencement, seize this opportunity to stand for our generation, our future, our children, and the generations to come. Harness your creative genius, generate innovation, and though you may stumble along the way, press on without fear or grumbling, but rather with love and compassion, so that when you do reach the top of the world, you might shine down like a star burning brightly in the universe. And always remember, just as one tiny trim tab may steer the entire course of a ship, so may you steer the course of the future. I wish you all my very best for long, fruitful lives. Congratulations on this momentous occasion, and may God bless.
Thank you, Cody, for the bright light of your message and for your many contributions to the university community. Next, the candidates for graduation will be presented by their deans to Chancellor Vandegrift for the conferral of their degrees. Dr. Jerry Weinberg, Associate Provost for Research and Dean of the Graduate School, will begin by presenting candidates for the conferral of graduate degrees.
Will the candidates receiving graduate degrees, Masters of Arts, Masters of Fine Arts, Masters of Music, Masters of Public Administration, Masters of Science, and post-baccalaureate certificates, please rise. Chancellor Vandegrift, these candidates, subject to completion of all requirements established by the university and the graduate school, are recommended to you for the formal conferring of their respective degrees.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and the Dean of the Graduate School, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Southern Illinois University Board of Trustees, I confer on each of you the graduate degree or certificate earned with all rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Graduates, please be seated.
Dean Hassan Savim will now present candidates for conferral of baccalaureate degrees from the School of Engineering.
Will the candidates for baccalaureate degrees from the School of Engineering please rise? Chancellor Vandegrift, these candidates, subject to the completion of all requirements established by the university and the School of Engineering, are recommended to you for the formal conferring of their degrees.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and the Dean of the School of Engineering, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Southern Illinois University Board of Trustees, I confer on each of you the baccalaureate degree earned with all rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Graduates, please be seated.
Dean Girish Gupchap will now present candidates for conferral of degrees from the School of Pharmacy.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Pharmacy degrees from the School of Pharmacy please rise? Chancellor Vandegrift, These candidates, subject to the completion of all requirements established by the university and the School of Pharmacy, are recommended to you for the formal conferring of their degrees.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and the Dean of the School of Pharmacy, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Southern Illinois University Board of Trustees, I confer on each of you the doctoral degree earned with all rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Graduates, please be seated.
Will all of the graduates now please rise? In recognition of the degree bestowed upon you, you may now move the tassel on your cap or mortarboard from right to left. Congratulations. Graduates, please be seated.
Please note that recipients of baccalaureate degrees who have graduated with honors, high honors, and highest honors are noted in the program by 1, 2, and 3 asterisks respectively. They are also wearing cords on their academic regalia indicating their honors. In addition, candidates who are honor scholars are indicated in the program with a capital H, and graduates who have just been commissioned as second lieutenants in the U.S. Army are listed in your program as well. The university community extends to each of you our heartiest congratulations on your achievements. We have now come to that part of the program when candidates for degrees will proceed to the platform in program order. The names of the graduates will be read by Dr. Brad Noble, Associate Professor of Electrical and Computer Engineering in the School of Engineering. I would ask that the audience please remain seated during this part of the ceremony.
Graduate School, Master of Arts, Jill Ravoloski Baranestil. Justin James Bernay. Nathan Andrew Biggerstaff. Hannah Catherine Bush. Mary Lynn Claybaugh. Aaron Gray Dooley. Tamira R. Harris. Consuela Contessa Kelly. Allison Rebecca Noloff. Amy Marie Goebel Knutson. Judith Eileen McGrath. Caitlin Mackenzie Murphy. Catherine Marie O'Donnell. Koloa Olabatsu, sorry, Olatsson. Bailey Michelle Wise Pyle. David Allen Rawson. Clarissa Maria Ritchie. Zachary James Riebling. Sarah Kathleen Rose. Kimberly Christine Runyon. Nigin Satari. Stephanie Lynn Sikta. Lauren Renee Sapith. Leah Elizabeth Swenson. Jenna Marie Tucker. Ramon West. Michelle Lynn Wingo. Diana Lynn Yost. Mallory Elise Zimmerman. Master of Fine Arts. Ryan C. Horvath. Tiger Reed. Melanie Marie Smith. Master of Music. Charity Marie Briles. Marvin Trevor Morrison. Brian James O'Donnell. Master of Public Administration. Brittany K. Anderson. Michael C. Goldstein. Meredith Jean Maynard. Michael John Moore. Rachel Lynn Motzinger. Tanika Lachey Palmer. Kendall Marie Schmidt. Deborah Ann Simmerman. Sierra T. Simmons. Jason S. Stanley. Casey Renee Steinmetz. Justin M. Straight. Michael Stephen Straight. Timothy Andrew Soyen. Master of Science, Angela Akuba Blay. Genevieve Marie Collins. Dustin M. Davis. Katie Fox Hansen. Tatum Marie Hawkins. William F. Knudsen. Lindsay Michelle Longfellow. Andrew James Martins. Samantha Leanne Martin. Beth Dutta Dututh. Mark Jaston Ostendorf. Benjamin Nathaniel Riedel. Ramia Saifi. Lauren Christina Jane Sarver. Nisa Brooke Schmitz. Stephanie Brown Vernier. Cameron Joseph Whitney. Maduri Atota. Master of Science. Karzan Husamaluddin Baladin. Matthew John Jost. Mohammed Kawar. Orchan Onje. Mohammed Ali Okasha. Ramakrishna Prabhu Rangathana. Dustin Ray Sanders. Kunal Sanjeev Sarota. Suman Raja Tamalapukla. Jeffrey Michael Wells. Prashanthi Gundagoni. School of Engineering. Bachelor of Arts, Lilian Ham. Bachelor of Science, Anish George Abraham. Daniel Edward Ahrens, cum laude. Ryan Gregory Alberter. Allison L. Albrecht. Brandon R. Allen. Derek J. Althouse. Mark Andrew Amarias. Dodi Amajaya. Dustin Howard Otwood. Seth Patrick Baker, cum laude. Brian J. Barnard. Jason Matthew Bodart. Jared Anthony Bazer, cum laude. Jacob Ian Bullard. Ivan Robert Catron, cum laude. Caitlin B. Chilson. Nathan A. Clabby, magna cum laude. Erica J. Combs. Scott John Cornwell. Aaron Jacob Dalton. Keith Edward Danner. Dominique Davenroy. Ryan J. Day. Jared William Dimel. Jonathan Dwight David Denning, magna cum laude. Damian Anthony Di Vittorio, cum laude. Jessica Marie Eichhorst. Anthony Ronald Falkowski. Dana Marie Fisher. Kenneth Ray Flood, summa cum laude. Winnie Freeman. Cesar Gomez Martinez. Cesar A. Gomez Martinez. Nicholas Robert Grayheck. Clifton Gary Hake. Matthew Stephen Hall. Ryan Zachary Han, summa cum laude. Daniel James Healy, cum laude. Justin Richard Hayden. Clayton Allen Herring. Court Hickey. You want the full name there? Lee Michael Hogan. Lynn Marie Hogan, magna cum laude. Thomas Cole Howe, cum laude. Michael P. Jansen. Paul Victor Jansen. Benjamin Dale Jeffrey. Michael T. Jenkins. Brian Joseph Jones. Carl Mumo Katumu. Andrew David Keller. Derek J. Keller. Wes Michael Kitzler. Luke Ingram Kistner. Benjamin Ryan Clean. Timothy J. Cluthy, cum laude. Sean Jacob Lemaster, summa cum laude. Michael David Lem. Randolph Joseph Leonard. Lloyd Lett Jr. Stephen Michael Lynn, cum laude. Garrett Randall Long. Ryan N. Lorton. Carrie C. Lortz, magna cum laude. Austin Lewis Luberta, cum laude. Kimberly Joy Lebke. Benjamin Edward Lulai. Brandon R. Margaritas, summa cum laude. Erica Lynn Miller, summa cum laude. Dennis Wayne Moore, cum laude. Joshua Clay Neiman. Aaron C. Parker. Richard Logan Parker, summa cum laude. William R. Peabody. Luke A. Pothest. Bradley Paul Ron. Matthew George Ralston. Zachary T. Robbie. Kevin Edward Reisinger. Garrett Michael Rich. Andrew Blake Robinson. Nathan Andrew Roner, summa cum laude. Colin Jacob Ruprecht. Russer. Logan K. Russer. Caitlin Ann Schmittling, cum laude. Jared Atwell Schneider, summa cum laude. Thomas Peter Schozel. Quentin Nathaniel Schucker, cum laude. Raleigh James Shade. Dave McCool Shaha. Thomas L. Seitz. Andrew Thomas Slagle. Oliver William Sleva. Derek Allen Sobin. Colby Spangler. Blake Lee Speckman. Leslie Faye Stallings, cum laude. Ryan Ramsey Steele, cum laude. Strelzik. Melissa Ann Strelzik, cum laude. Taylor James Svitak. Katrina K. Tice. Ashley Nicole Timmerman. Cody A. Trostley. Jonathan Everett Weaver. Blake Andrew Wilson. The next 18 students are graduating from the Industrial Engineering Dual Diploma Program. This program, which was established between SIUE and Istanbul Technical University in 2007, brings students from Istanbul Technical University to SIUE for their sophomore and senior years, after which they earn diplomas for both universities while gaining international exposure. This is the second cohort to complete the program. Sadly, one dual diploma student, Orkan Spahi, died of leukemia in December 2011. The remaining 18 students have completed this difficult program in 4 years. We do have the parents of several students visiting from Turkey for today's ceremony, while others' parents in Turkey are watching the event through web streaming. Sarah Akyol. Bourdieu Demir, cum laude. Aishanur Dogrur, cum laude. Merveille Doruk. Furkan Enderaj, cum laude. Iram Erebo. Celine Kanli. Leila Mirai Kalya, cum laude. Maris Cosolio. Jingis F.A. Okumus. Erai Uztuk, summa cum laude. Merlau Shahin, cum laude. Osman Sak. Mehmet Tekin. Gerard Teköken. Emre Ugo. Khan Ulojak. Should we announce pharmacy? School of Pharmacy? I'm sorry? School of Pharmacy, Doctor of Pharmacy? School of Pharmacy, Doctor of Pharmacy. Sadeh Al-Jardini. Andrew Lynn Altman. Kevin Allen Bajer. Trevor D. Beal. Rebecca Therese Beets. Barbara Jean Berg. Lucas Max Brown. Andrea Suzanne Buddy. Erica Renee Campbell. Dawn Marie Carey. Ashley Dawn Chumley. Philip Thomas Connolly. Stephanie Marie Cooper. Renee Christine Daimel. Jeffrey Michael Denny. Caleb James Diericks. Katie Nicole Douglas. Alex C. Dow. Brandon Edwards. Samantha Elizabeth Ferriozzi. Megan Ray Fulling. Nicole Marie Geckner. Stasha Gooden. Tori Elizabeth Gunderson. Paul Robert Guston. Leslie Nicole Harmon. Catherine Maury Harness. Heidi Rochelle Harshman. Melanie Jean Hicks. Jennifer Marie Haney. Catherine Holmes. Anna M. Hoofendick. Ashton Marie Hallett. Alex Dean Hunt. Karen Kathleen Hunt. Ryan Scott Immel. Anna Elizabeth Johnson. Jacob Thomas Kotecki. Elizabeth A. Kunz. Teresa A. Matashek. Jacob Kelly Morgan. Brian James Morris. Nicole Marie Nesselhoff. Blake Matthew Nestor. Lisa Lynette Nyans. Ashish Patel. Oscar Zapeta Perez. David A. Plath. Andrew Michael Rakers. Anna Marie Michaela Raymer. Julia E. Rhodes. Casey Lynn Robinson. Andrew Jerome Rombach. Zachary Michael Samples. James Cody Sandusky. Michael David Schmidt. Samuel Tyler Schwarm. Leah Marie Schwan. Colleen Elizabeth Sheehan. Jared P. Sheely. Jessica Suzanne Showen. Robert Leon Sikirka. Bria Nicole Sims. Carrie Matthew Studnicki. Hillary Jo Sturgeon. Alan Warren Stutzman. Kamala Michelle Truitt. Jacqueline Elizabeth Vogel. Renee M. Wallace. Edward Lauren Weiler. Jennifer Ann Williford. Sarah Emily Willenbrink. Ashley Elizabeth Wood. Haley Marie Ray. Thank you.
Trust me, we are almost to the margaritas. On behalf of the university, I wish to thank the members of the SIUE Symphony Orchestra under the direction of Dr. Michael Mishra and our vocalist Richard Ladd for his fine musical presentations today. Thank you also to the Army ROTC for the presentation of colors. For making the commencement program available to those who are deaf or hearing impaired, thank you to our interpreters, Ms. Susan Macbeth and Ms. Brittany McKay. We now ask that you join us in singing both verses of the SIUE alma mater, Hail SIUE. It is printed on the back cover of your program. Please rise to sing it.
Above the Mississippi plain, your splendor meets the sky. You give to all a chance to gain. You raise our spirits high. Hail, all hail, SIUE, our gratitude we owe, a fount of opportunity, where'er in life we go. To college life we bid adieu, and wend our separate ways. Yet college friends and mentors too are with us all our days. Hail, all hail, SIUE, our alma mater true. Let's fill our glasses joyfully and raise a toast to you.
Please be seated. I would ask that you please remain seated until the platform party, faculty, staff, and graduates have left the seating area. I want to send our best wishes to each and every one of you and congratulations on your graduation. We hope you will return to visit us on campus often.